Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are, if it's in the future. Thank you for watching this video. I'm here joined with Chris from mmCrypto. Chris, how are you doing today?
I am doing very well, my man. I'm happy to talk about Bitcoin, the most scarce asset in the history of mankind.
Yes, and today we want to beg you, plead with you to buy a small amount of Bitcoins. Like I did 7 years ago. I pleaded, I begged, and only one person, I remember only one person in the whole chat group. Everybody was hating on me and said I was crazy, I was nutsoid. Why would I spend my hard-earned money on Bitcoin? It doesn't make any sense. And yes, it was a low price back then. It was like about $100, and and yeah, it was only a $1. I asked them $1, and why did I ask only $1? It wasn't because I thought that the $1 for sure was going to be millions of dollars in 10 years from now. No, no, no. I knew that the gains that you saw in that $1 would compel you to go and buy some more. I'm hoping that every single one of you buys $1 worth of Bitcoins, just one freaking dollar, because you're going to be thanking me for that $1, just $1 of Bitcoins. And that's why I did that video. That's why I begged them to just put in a small amount. And so today we're asking you to please buy $200 worth of Bitcoin right now, right? Figure out how to do so. It's worth your effort and you will be rewarded. Just put it away, forget about it, and one day in 10 to 15 years from now, you will not regret it. Now, if you're watching this video in 10 years from now, I'm sorry, the YouTube algorithm, they know how they, how they are, right? so Chris, why should they buy just $200 worth of Bitcoins if it's not just to watch the gains go, the small gains that will happen in the next year, but also what are the advantages of Bitcoin? What makes it so good that it's worthwhile investing and safe to invest into?
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, Bitcoin is right now not only the bet with the highest upside, in my own personal opinion, because I'm so highly involved in it, it's even the safest bet because Bitcoin is the scarcest asset in the history of mankind. I mean, of course, it is in early stage technology and we need more mainstream adoption and so on. But if you just look at the scarcity, at the definite scarcity, it is so much safer to invest in Bitcoin rather than in anything else, which is much more easily inflatable. Even real estate, you can always build higher. You can always build some artificial islands or so, like they are doing it in Dubai nonstop, right? So this is inflatable like everything else. The total supply of gold is also uncertain. And after time, more and more people are understanding that. Just a few years ago, we heard JP Morgan bashing Bitcoin. They already publicly changed a little bit their opinion about that. Then you have S&P 500 listed companies putting Bitcoin in their treasury. And do you even know how powerful it is when big companies sitting on a huge chunk of cash deciding to only put not 1%, 0.1% in their treasury? I mean, this is so extremely powerful, guys, when you have something which is definitely scarce with a total amount of Bitcoin of 21 million, from which 6 million are lost. You will never be able to create any more Bitcoin. So you have a fixed supply and then a demand, which is growing over time with S&P 500 listed companies joining the space with more and more billionaires. There are at least 30 of the 2,000 billionaires out there in the world are already involved in Bitcoin. And this is so powerful, guys. I am telling you, if you're waiting a little bit longer, there will be no Bitcoin left at the market for you. And this is something I talked about it before. If you have a fixed supply and a demand which is exponentially increasing, the only mechanism which makes, because right now there are just not enough Bitcoin for everyone, the only mechanism which will make Bitcoin enough for everyone will the valuation to it has to increase. It has to increase by 1,000-fold or so that there's enough Bitcoin for everyone, because otherwise there's not even one Bitcoin for every millionaire. So that every millionaire will be satisfied by Bitcoin, the valuation has to increase significantly. And if you understand this, you will put a $200 into Bitcoin, and I am sure that your $200 in Bitcoin in 10, 15 years, it will probably buy you a car or even a house or so. So I think Bitcoin is the best and safest bet in my own personal opinion. We can talk about it in 10 years again. Maybe I was wrong, probably not. And yeah, this is my take on Bitcoin.
Exactly. I mean, it's incredible how we are at this point where you can buy an asset that where even though the stated amount that will ever exist is 21 million, there will always be less and less and less over time. And why is that? It's because people lose their coins, and once you lose your coins, you can't get them back. And those coins are still there. It's just that nobody has access to them, and so those coins will never move. And that is the most incredible thing. So imagine right now at 20, if we have all 21 million coins, not every millionaire can own a whole Bitcoin. So if we've lost like a third of those coins, and that's what they're estimating, a third of all the crypto Bitcoins that ever existed or ever will exist, right? Think about that. You know, to be in the top 1% of the holders of Bitcoins in the future, you just need 0.28 if Bitcoin had all 21 million existing. But if you factor out that if you factor in that third is going to go missing, that's actually you need you need even less. You need like 0.2 or less Bitcoins in order to be in the top 1%. And so in the top 10% is 0.02 Bitcoins. Incredible. And you know what? That $200 will still be is that $200. I know it won't make you in the top 10%, but it will make you in the top you will have a large sums of money, because it's going to be, I really think that the valuation of a Bitcoin, of the satoshi, the smallest unit of the Bitcoin, will be worth $1 one day, and that will mean that you will have well over, I think, about 1 million satoshis if you bought, yes, 1 million satoshis if you bought just $200 worth of Bitcoin. So think about that, and adjusted it could possibly be $1 for one sat. That means you'll have $1 million. I know $1 million today doesn't buy a whole lot, but it's still a good chunk of change. I think you'd be happy with that. So I really think that you should purchase just $200 worth of Bitcoin sometime, like just right now. Actually, just stop the video and go buy it right now. And if it's you're watching this 10 years in the future, sorry, sorry, yeah. It's a little bit late, but just save it to Bitcoins. All right, well, Chris, exactly. I think we sufficiently convinced all the viewers here, because really everyone that watches your channel and my channel, I think they're pretty much convinced that what Bitcoin is and that it's worthwhile buying. But I hope the new people that watch this video, they really believe that Bitcoin is the future and will make them a large sums of money. Do you have anything last words to say to convince that person who's just a holdout?
Yeah, I have the last extremely powerful piece of content here. Just what you said, that not only after time more and more Bitcoin are being lost, and all Bitcoin which are lost forever. That means the circulating supply eventually it will go lower and more scarce after time. At the same time, with increasing demand, since Bitcoin is a network good, more people joining the space make Bitcoin more valuable and more useful, which increases furthermore the incentive of furthermore more people joining the space. So more demand will equal more demand, whereas the supply is going down. So we have a double leverage effect behind the price. I think it's going to be completely crazy throughout the next few years. Of course, we will have another bear market maybe in 2 years or so, but who really cares in the long run, right? So I mean, guys, if we didn't convince you by now, maybe you are not the person for Bitcoin. Just as the people watching in May 2013 the video, whoever was not convinced by then, or maybe 2 years later or 4 years later, maybe it's not the person for Bitcoin, right? Like Peter Schiff.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, some people you just can't convince them of what is real, and it's real. This is in your face. This is real. It's not going away, right? And if you want to This video was done in 2013, but I did a lot of videos in 2011 because I bought Bitcoins in 2011, March of 2011, and I got a lot of hate. A lot of these videos were like really hated. If you want to check them out, links is in the description below. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for hopefully we've convinced you significantly enough to buy some Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's real. Bitcoin's here to stay. Be a part of it. Thanks for watching. Cheers.
Bye-bye.